Hey everybody, doing another decade album ranking, this time 80s Judas Priest. We've already got 70s Priest that I did a while back. So I'm going to go ahead and do the 80s Priest, which definitely has a couple of different styles going on. So let's go ahead and get started. For those who are watching on via Instagram or Facebook, this video is originally being put on my YouTube page, That Thrash Metal Guy 79. So like I said, I'm also sharing this as a reel on Instagram, and then by default it goes to Facebook as well. So let's go ahead and get started. Judas Priest released 6 albums in the 80s, and the 5th of those is what I have as number 6, and that is Turbo. Never really been a huge fan of this album. Turbo Lover, maybe Locked In, and the Out in the Cold, basically kind of only being like the songs that I really kind of actually like. I was able to get this at a pretty decent price, which is the reason I bought it on vinyl, and it's an original pressing, because when it comes to Judas Priest, even the duds, which are very few and far between, I gotta have them. It was priced at $20, and I think I paid $15 for it, and I bought that at Vintage Vinyl on Augusta Highway here in Columbia. Next at number 5, I have what I kind of feel like I won't say underrated, because it's probably like a medium album, but I do think a lot of people trash it and don't give it the credit that it does deserve, and that's Point of Entry. And, you know, I know a lot of people think this album is garbage, but look, Heading Out to the Highway is a good song. I think Hot Rockin', Desert Plains, Solar Angels, On the Run's a really good tune. You know, not a terrible album, not a great album, about, you know, mid-level. Another album a lot of people sleep on, I have as my number 4, and that is Ram It Down. There's a lot of really good stuff on here. Of course, everybody knows the story. Ram It Down and Turbo were supposed to be kind of, it was supposed to be a double album, twin turbos. I think the songs on here are much better. Of course, you got the title track, Heavy Metal, Come and Get It, Hard as Iron, Blood Red Skies, I'm a Rocker, Love You to Death, Monsters of Rock, all really good tunes. The cover of Johnny Be Good, I could kind of take or leave. I'm not as big as a critic on that as a lot of people are. I think it's a decent cover. Nothing to really write home about, but overall, that's where I have that album. At number 3, an album I have been listening to a lot, probably over the last couple of years, is British Steel, their first of the 80s, from 1980. Now, this album had to follow, you know, that great 70s Priest stuff, including Hellbent for Leather, Killing Machine. But so you know, you've got the tracks that everybody knows: Breaking the Law, Living After Midnight, but Rapid Fire, Metal Gods, Grinder, Don't Have to Be Old to Be Wise, The Rage, Steeler, are all great songs. About the only track I dislike on here is United, and it kind of has that Take On All the World kind of feel to it from the previous album that I'm not really big on. Other than that, I don't think this has a lot of that'd probably be the only filler track on the album, in my opinion. At number 2, this was my number 1 for a long time, many years. But it has slipped to number 2, not because of anything that I dislike about this album, it's just how much I really love the one that I'm going to put at number 1, and that is Screaming for Vengeance. Iconic Hellion Electric Eye, which for a long time was a concert opener for them. But you got Riding on the Wind, Bloodstones. I'm not big on Take These Chains and Pain and Pleasure, but Screaming for Vengeance, Another Thing Coming, Fever, and Devil's Child, all really great songs from 1982. And if you haven't yet picked up, there's it came out on Record Store Day last year, the 82 Atlanta show, which is basically identical in track listing and performance to the famous 82 Memphis show. So if you get a chance, pick that up. It's a really great live album. It's coming pretty close to being my favorite Priest live album. It would take a lot still to overtake Unleashed in the East, and then the only one left standing from 1984, Defenders of the Faith. Everything on here is solid until you get to Heavy Duty Defenders of the Faith. I'm not real big on that. But you start off with Free Will Burning, Jawbreaker, Rock Hard, Ride Free, The Sentinel, which is my favorite Priest song. Then you got Love Bites, Eat Me Alive, some Heads Are Gonna Roll, Night Comes Down. Fantastic album, start to finish. Like I said, I'm not big on the last kind of combination track there. That being said, if you took that part off, I would probably consider it a perfect album in my opinion. But it's a great album nonetheless, and that's why I have it at number 1 for my Priest ranking for the 80s. So I hope you guys have enjoyed that. I look forward to seeing what anybody else comes up for their list. Again, like, subscribe, comment, make your own video, tag me in it. Interested to see what everybody comes up with. And thank you for watching, and God bless.